So welcome. Here's another episode of Dr. Dev, Coding in Python. Today we're going to talk about lists and dictionaries. They're eerily similar, but not the same. Today I'm going to be using the Python notes by Thomas Kochler as a reference. So either way, let's click over to our code and let's jump right in. So we have a couple of things that are working here. Let's erase one of these. Let's erase the while loop example as we used in the last video. And let's just go over, for the moment, lists. So what's a list? This, my friend, is a list. So if I say list example, you will see that primes is a list. Now, in other languages, we call these arrays. And the way a list works is that there are positions in the list that you can manipulate using specific items or specific indices. So, for instance, if I said, and just for shiggles, I'm going to erase this because I can always rewrite it. If I said I wanted to, all right, yeah, just making sure I know what I'm doing. So, print primes that is at the print the element that is at the first position in primes, which is what? 3. 3 is at the first position in the list primes because we always start at 0. So 2 is 0, 3 is 1, 5 is the second position, and 7 is the third position. So if I ran this code, I should get the number 3 in my output. And there you go, 3. It worked. So, for the most part, understand that a list, or an array, however you want to look at this, stores multiple values if it needs to, based upon the position that value occupies in the list. Now, let's say I wanted to add something to the list. Well, what I would need to do, and let's put this for loop back so we can check it out. If I wanted to add something to the list, I would need to use a method called append. So I would write primes.append, and I would say append the number 10. Now, let's go ahead and print this and see what happens. Yeah. And I don't want this else in here at all. There we go. And there you go. 10 was added to the primes array or primes list. If I wanted to remove something and actually you can append an array to an array, or you can append a list to a list. What that means is you're going to have a multi-dimensional list. Now this is mind-blowing, but hear me out for a second. If I said I wanted to append something to this list, and I said, okay, well, I want to append another array or another list to this list, I can say 10, 11, 12. And what's going to happen? Let's go ahead and see what happens. I got 2, 3, 5, 7, and then I have an array with items in that part of the array. If I said I wanted it to print .print, and I want to print print primes, and I actually, this isn't going to work unless I have the append in there. Okay, and then I said primes.print. I'm doing that again. Print, sorry, primes, and I want to print the 4th position. What'll happen? Let's get rid of this for loop for a second, and let's run it. I got 10, 11, and 12. I received the array that was in the 4th position. Now, how many positions are here? 0, 1, 2, 3. I appended a new array, and now there's a 4th position in the primes, and then I said I want what's in the 4th position. So this is called having a multi-dimensional list. I can put a list in a list. All right, I know I'm moving a little quickly, but if that's a little confusing, don't worry. Just go back and rewind. The rewind button works, and you can watch it again. It does work. So, what is an index? There's a couple of methods I want to show you, and that's about it. So, there's a couple that I like, so those are the ones I'm going to use. So in this case, we have this array in primes, but let's say I don't want it there anymore. I can say primes dot remove, and I can say remove the array. So, or no, remove 7. What'll happen? Remember 0, 1, 2, 3, and then the array or the list. That's not going to work because I'm not printing anything. Print primes. No, I want the for loop again. For crap. Give me 1 second. There it is. All right, and now I want you. Perfect. So what's going to happen? I'm going to print all the numbers that exist in primes. I appended an array or a list of numbers, and I removed a number that's in primes. I got 2, 3, 5, the array, but I didn't get 7 because we removed it. So now let's play another game. Let's then say, okay, you know what? I want to enter a number between 3 and 5. I would use the method function insert. And when I use the insert function, what I can do is I can say, okay, well, the number between 3 and 5 is 4. Oh, no, actually, I need to tell it what position I want it to be in. So if I want to put the number between 3 and 5, what's the position in the list? Let's count. 0, 1, 2. So I want to put it in the second position, and I want to put the number 4 there. And there it is, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was able to insert at the second position the number 4. So the first parameter here is the position, and the second parameter is the actual value. But let's say I don't really want this array anymore. I have the array here. Let's say I wanted to remove the last thing in the list. What method would I use? I could say primes pop, and it should remove the last value in the array. And there you go. Pop removes the last value, or the array, the last value in the last position. Okay, so in this case, the last position is occupied by this array. When we pop the list, it removed 10, 11, and 12. We can also count what's in the list. This is very important if you wanted to use it for a counter. I can say, okay, well, you know what? I want print. Actually, you can do it after the for loop. Print primes.count. As a matter of fact, I can also count how many objects are in the array. But in this case, I just want to count the array. It won't work. I think I have to add the value of an object. So let's add 2. There you go. 1. There's 1, 2 in the array. Now, there's one more that, there's a couple of others. There's sort, reverse, and I'm really not going to go over all of them. I think the ones that make the most sense are the ones I just showed you. And that's it. So in most cases, when you're using a list like this, you can pretty much store values in it ad hoc. I can add values dynamically. I can remove values dynamically. I can insert values at specific intervals in the array dynamically. I can even pop. There's also push, which is append. Push, append, they're the same. They're from the same family. Push means to add. Pop means to remove the last. Push means to add to the last. So this is a list. That's how a list works. Let's talk about a dictionary. So where a list just holds a specific amount of values, a dictionary holds key value pairs. What are key value pairs, you might be asking? Dictionary, dict, example. Well, I will show you. So let's say I have, and we'll say dict equals, and normally you can tell the difference between a list and a dictionary by the brackets that are used. In a list, you have these straight brackets. In a dictionary, you have the curly braces. And in the curly braces, you need to ensure that every position, it's really not a position, but every position is has a key value pair. So in this case, I'm going to say name. No. First name. And I like to use lowercase because scripting languages, you always use lowercase. First name is John. Last name. I can do the typing. Doe. Age. I will say 36. And we'll say that's good enough. That's good enough. So for each of these values, and I normally like to do these on a separate line, so I'm going to put them in the way I like it. So I can say this, and then I kind of remember that at the end of every line, I need a comma except for the last line. Bam. So we have dict, first name, last name, and age. So let's get these values, shall we? I don't need this for loop right now, so I'm going to save it and remove it. Now let's say I just wanted all the keys in the dictionary. I can say dict.keys, and I can run it. And it gives me absolutely nothing. Why? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, print. Actually, I can do this. Dict.keys. There you go. So dict.keys contains the keys for each of the key value pairs in dict are always on the left. So first name is the key. I can use first name to get John. If I typed into dict, let's say I wanted to access the first name of John from dict. I can say dict.first name, and I'll get nothing because I'm an imbecile. How did that work? Ah, it's indexed. Sorry. Dict, first name. There, I got John. So you can use the key to get the value. That's how key value pairs work. You can't have duplicate keys in a dictionary, and the keys really don't have any concept of order. The reason why, and here's one of the other reasons why I like to use objects, dictionaries, hash tables, however you want to explain it. This only sits in one memory location, whereas an array sits in subsequent memory locations that are consecutive to one another. Objects, dictionaries are objects, by the way, are pretty much just a variable that has different properties associated with it. That's how the object works. And from the object, you can call the key to get the value. In this case, we're indexing dict by first name to get John. Now, in this case, let's say I wanted to get all the values. Well, come to the right place, because I can just say values, and I'll get all the values. John, Doe, and 36. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say I had, let's do this. Children. Yes, I'm all about J names today. Remember, put a comma after each of your dictionary key value pairs so that the program knows that it's its own key value pair. So what did I do here? I took a key, children, and I have age capitalized, which is total taboo, always lowercase, because all scripting languages are case sensitive. So children, and there's an array of children here. Let's see what happens when I say print the keys, or print the values. It didn't run, did it? Run. And then print the values. Oops. There. I received this children. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say I want to dict.children. I can't call... I keep doing that. I have to index children from dict. So I can see what's going on. And I receive the children. I can take a list and make it a value, or make it a part of a key value pair in a dictionary. You can also take a dictionary and make it a key value, or make it a value in an array or in a list. I can say, in this case, I can say, actually, I can just take this, but I'll just take first name, last name to make it easy. And if I printed primes, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna try it anyway. Actually, it will work if I run it if I run it inside the bottom. So I run it and then I say primes. I received the key value pair. Let's take it a step further. Primes, what's the index location of that dictionary in primes? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The dictionary is in the 4th location of the list primes. So I'm going to index this to 4. And then I'm going to say I want the first name. What do you think I'm going to get? John. See how that works? I can index my primes list to a specific location, which is this dictionary that I put in there. Then I call the key that I want from that dictionary, and it gives me the value from the dictionary. You can see how powerful dictionaries actually are. As a matter of fact, dictionaries, I would suggest using dictionaries over many other things that you could or couldn't use. You can also, in this case, you can say, let's say I didn't want to use a list. Let's say I wanted to actually make this a multidimensional dictionary. I can say first child, and I put spaces because it's easier to read. Second child, third child, and then I run it, and then I said I want dict children. I get all the children. Now let's say I want the second child. I get Janice. You can see how the key value pairs, they compound themselves, and they make things a lot easier to call when you actually need what you need. This actually has a value associated with it. I'm calling dict the key children, and then in the key children, I'm calling the second child, which is giving me an actual value associated with a key that means something. Whereas in a list, I mean, if I wasn't counting this dictionary here, these values really don't have a specific, value associated with what it is and how it works. Now, let's say I was in the code and I wanted to add another value. I can say dict, and let's say I want to add another child. So I access the key children, and then I'm going to access the dictionary in the key children. And I can say I want to add a fourth child, and name it Maximus. All right. Actually, that's not going to work. I actually should say, equals Maximus. What's going to happen? I get an error. Error. Why? Why did I get an error? That doesn't make any sense. Why can't I do that? Dict, children, fourth child, unexpected indent. Oh, fiddlesticks. Alright, now I say dict. Alright, I don't know why that didn't work the first time. It was because there was a space there. So here's fourth child right there. And if I said I wanted fourth child specifically, Maximus. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to show you that dictionaries can do. First, you can check to see if a dictionary has a specific key. So in this case, I want to check to see if the 36, if age is a part of the dictionary dict. So I can say dict dot has key, and I can say I want you to give me age. Does age exist? Actually, that's not where I want to put that. I want to put this here. Dict dot has key. Age. You can also put it up top if you want, but I'm putting it in the shell because that's what I want to use it at. Where I want to use it at. What? Ah. What? Dict object has no attribute. Has key. Weird. That should have worked. Dict. Alright. Now try it. What? Let's go, game. Alright, you know what? Nah. Nah. I know it works. Stop that. Am I spelling age wrong? No. Last name. Don't. Print dict has key. Dict object has no attribute, has key. Did I do something wrong? Give me a second. You can also see if there's items in the dictionary. So if I said items, all right. You can also check to see if well, you can get items. So if I said print dict.get and I said age, there you go, 36. So if I said print dict.hasKey age. Get out of town. No way. Alright, I guess I'm doing something wrong and I just don't know what it is. I guess we'll come back to it. I'll figure it out eventually. Just like in a list, you can pop and get items. So I showed you pop. You can also, or I showed you get. You can also pop. So if I said dict dot pop, and I said I wanted to pop the age, so I want to get rid of the age. All right, and then I gotta get rid of this. And then I want you to print dict. So fourth child, there it is, age. And then age is gone. Because I popped it. It popped age away. It got rid of age. Pops it out of the stack. You can clear, set default, from keys, and update. You can also combine. But the one thing I want to show you, okay, is how to iterate through a list. I'm sorry, a dictionary. To iterate through a list is easy. For number and primes. And then you write out what you want to do. Print primes. Print numbers, sorry. And in this case, if I just decided I didn't want this, it'll give me all the numbers in prime. Well, everything that's in primes. So that's how you iterate through. This is how you iterate through a list. But if I wanted to iterate through a dictionary, it's a little different. What I would need to do is, first of all, erase these last ones. And then I would say... t dot dict dot iter values. That's not going to work either, is it? All right, so then don't worry about it. I think honestly you can still iterate through it the same way I was doing the other one in dict. And I just got all the keys. If I said dot value, that doesn't work. Dot value, that doesn't work. Give me 1 second. That should have worked. Number dot. Oh, you know why it doesn't work? Because right now I only want the keys, but in the end, it. Yeah. So did it right. You know, for number in dict or for key in dict, you can say key, and then you'll get all the keys. And then if I want the values, I would have to say key.value. Print key, but I want to print the value. Oh, maybe I can just say... Nope. Dict. I'm really the smartest known to man. There they are. Ah! I would have to index. Okay. Got it. You have to index key, or what the key is, in the dict to get the value. Alright. And that's it! You got to see me goof around and mess up and all kinds of things. But this is basically the easy peasy lemon squeezy lists and dictionaries. Well, it's been fun, and I've had a blast making myself look completely and utterly stupid doing this, but it was a lot of fun, and I actually enjoy coding so much that I'm going to do it again next week. It's been, if you like this video, and it was very informative, then give me a thumbs up, and if you want more videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm Dr. Dev, and as I say always, have fun coding. Ciao.